Good morning. It's 9 a.m. and time to call to order the October 23rd, 2025 meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. Our first item is to approve the minutes of the September 25, 2025 Oklahoma City Airport Trust meeting. Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. All right, next up, we have the director's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I had a couple updates, and then we have a presentation. So first of all, I wanted to recognize, as you may have seen, the airport was part of some of the reveal for the banners and the signs for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so our staff's been working on that for the last couple of months. And Stacy and Randon on our staff and some of the building maintenance guys and others really were involved in trying to make it all happen and time it right, you know, for the first game. And so wanted to recognize them and thank them for their efforts. Passenger-wise, we're continuing on our streak. Our September passenger numbers were the highest that we've had for September. So people are still traveling. And of course, since we got together last time, the federal shutdown has happened, and we haven't seen any impacts here. You may have seen around the country that various airports and locations, they've had some air traffic control delays. So what I just apprise people of is if they're traveling, expect some delays just because the system's being impacted. Finally, on November 8, we have our first flight to Mexico on American Airlines. And so I think all of you received an invite for that if you were a Saturday morning, but we've got a nice send-off planned for our passengers on that. So, as we've done with some other departments, is we've highlighted for you just what they do and who they are. And so we've got Robert Scarberry from our IT department here today, and he's got some slides and some background on what their group does. So come on up, Robert.
Thank you, Director Mulder. Trustees, thank you guys for the time to share a little bit about our team, Airport Data Systems, and what we do. Again, I'm Robert Scarberry. I'm the Business Systems Manager for the Airport Data Systems Division with the airports. Our group is primarily best known for the flight information display screens, which many of you are probably familiar with when traveling throughout our airports. But this morning, I'd like to take you behind the screens and give you a little bit more insight into our team, explain to you what it is that we do, and then introduce you to these extraordinary folks here behind me. Before we do that, I'd like to start with kind of running you through what is the mission of our group. So for those that don't know, the airport actually recently defined its specific mission as connecting Oklahoma City to people, places, and possibilities. And so in that same vein, our airport IT group has adopted a mission to provide reliable, cost-effective, innovative airport technology solutions to connect Oklahoma City Airport to those same people, places, and possibilities. Sorry about that. So along those same lines, our vision is ultimately to become a trusted leader in strategic innovation for airport technology. We want to deliver big airport experiences with small airport hospitality. So we want to take all of those things that the big boys do, and we want to bring it here to Oklahoma City and provide those services and those experiences for our passengers and our tenants. So what does that actually look like? Well, we've got a number of recent initiatives that we're really proud to highlight for you guys. As Director Mulder already mentioned, international service is going to be beginning next month here in in November. We're very excited about that. Our team provided a considerable amount of resources, insights, and assistance to bring that initiative to fruition. A lot of safety and security coordination with the systems at the airport, while also facilitating and coordinating with the federal agencies, CBP most specifically, to get that FIS station up and running. So very excited to bring that international service and be a small part of that international service for our citizens and our visitors. Another system that we're extremely proud of is the Common Use System. For those that don't know, a Common Use System is effectively a computer system that will allow our airlines to relocate from their primary or preferential spaces in the facility in the event of maintenance or repair. Gives us a lot of flexibility to move people around very simply. And so this new system is going to give us a lot of flexibility to provide that service and ultimately minimize impact and disruption to our passengers by being able to move those tenants quickly in the event the need arises. We have a number of parking enhancements that we're excited about. We've recently rolled out an e-commerce platform. Many of you may have seen the mobile pay, allowing customers to effectively pay for their parking fees using a QR code on their ticket. That's been out for, I want to say, about a year now. So excited about that. We have a number of other initiatives on the horizon. Most closely, and I know long awaited, is our parking reservation system. We've got an upgrade coming to that. Very excited to roll that out. I don't want to steal any thunder from Eric Bear, our Landside Operations Manager, but that's coming very, very soon. So you'll be hearing more about that soon. Another item we're especially proud of is our public Wi-Fi has always been very good at the airport, but we're currently undergoing a complete replacement of that system. So that replacement is going to include a lot faster speeds for our passengers and our customers, along with improving the density of coverage. So as you travel to different areas throughout the terminal building, you'll be able to maintain that coverage with a lot less lag and disruption in service. So very excited about that. We anticipate having that ready to go ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. And then finally, we have a number of operational improvements that we've done over the last probably year and a half, 2 years. Most specifically, we've improved the badging operations. We've taken all of that badging process for a lot of our tenants to a digital platform. We're also providing online training for a lot of those same customers and tenants throughout the building. We've taken our Part 139 airfield inspections, which I'm embarrassed to say were still on paper not too long ago. We've got all those digitized now, and our staff have mobile devices that they're able to take out into the field and improve the efficiency of those inspections, reliability, and ultimately the record keeping for those processes. So again, that's a real high level of a lot of the highlights that we have. But honestly, the most proud I think that I am of any one highlight is ultimately the assembly of these fine folks, the team sitting here behind me. And so with that, I'd like to just briefly introduce you to the team for Airport Data Systems. Before I introduce them individually, just a quick high level of our team. We are really a city within a city at the airport. I know some of the other divisions have mentioned that as well. We have a number of divisions within the Department of Airports that are also departments within the city. So accounting, PIO, maintenance, and of course, IT. So our team is really a subset of the IT department out at the airport. We focus specifically on airport specific systems. We have a team of 6 positions, although one of those has been vacant for nearly a year, so my team has gone above and beyond to fill that gap during this hiring freeze. So I'm exceptionally proud of the work that they've done over this last year. Organizationally, our division is comprised of effectively 3 what we call programs. So typically when people think of IT, you think of computer support, right? You think of cell phones and laptops and printers and audio, video. All of those things are included in what we call our client program. That's one of the many programs we provide and support for our employees there at Department of Airport. But also we have an operational systems program. That covers things like the flight information display screens that I mentioned. It includes our parking system, which obviously is a huge endeavor. We have our fuel system, baggage. There's a number of other systems that are included in that operational program, but they're all a part of that operational program. The third program that we have is our safety and security program. Safety and security typically involves access control, CCTV, airfield lighting, crash phone. So a lot of other systems that you may not think about when you're necessarily traveling through the airport. And most all of those are supported either primarily by or assisted thoroughly by this team sitting here behind me. So again, a lot of systems that encompass that safety and security program. So due to the limited staff that we have and the number and the scope of systems and services that we provide, our team is really required to be jacks of all trades. Unlike the IT department, for example, where they have highly specialized individual divisions within their teams, my folks are really asked to know everything about servers, networks, cybersecurity, application support, as well as client. And so really proud of how well-rounded they are. They bring a lot of support to really the gamut of system and support that we provide for the devices across our environment. That said, I would like to take a quick opportunity. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the extraordinary support of the IT department under Director Dusty Burkhart's leadership. They provide some extraordinary core services to our group, and ultimately that allows us to do what we do. In addition to that, I'd like to take a second to just tell our airport maintenance staff, most notably our building maintenance staff under the leadership of Todd Michelson, as well as our landside operations group under Eric Baer and our airside under Jim Thrash. With these folks, we're able to really stand on their shoulders and provide a lot of the support and services that they need to provide those services directly to our passengers. So big thanks to all of those folks. So now getting to it, I'd like to take a moment and just recognize the team individually. I'll just briefly run through it because I know this is probably not their favorite thing to do. But first and foremost, our newest addition, Romeo Bryant. Romeo is a very recent addition to the team. He's just coming up on 1 year. Arguably one of the nicest people I've ever met, one of the most professional. We are really, really excited that he's joined our team. He's shown some great potential in the short time that he's been with us. Very excited to see what he has to do in the future. Next up is Charlotte Russell, also a relatively recent addition. Charlotte's only been with our team for about 2 years. I haven't said this to her out loud, so forgive me for doing it here, but Charlotte probably asks more questions than a 5-year-old on a field trip. Lots and lots of questions. I'm one of the few people that really enjoy questions. I ask a lot of questions. I need to know all the details, as Director Mulder can attest. I want to know everything there is to know, and Charlotte's a lot like that. Now, while that may be annoying to some when we ask our questions, Charlotte's questions are not the needless, incessant questions. They are strategic, they're insightful, they're incredibly valuable, and most of the time, honestly, she's challenging our group to really consider alternatives to the way that we process and operate. And I just really appreciate all the questions that she brings and all of the potential, again, that she's bringing to our team. So thank you, Charlotte. Very lucky to have you. Nick Keel is another system administrator for us. Nick is one of our vets. He's got 15 years in with the city, a lot of knowledge for the city in multiple departments. He is also a recent Employee of the Quarter recipient, so very proud of him for a lot of the work that he did during an outage over Thanksgiving, actually last year. So incredibly valuable. As his name would suggest, Nick Keel, he's very even keel, a stereotypical quiet IT guy, doesn't ask a lot, comes in and does his job, enjoys doing it, wants to put out a good work product, but it's just exceptionally easy to work with. One of the things I think I enjoy most about Nick is that when our jobs and our days, which can be very chaotic, start spinning up, Nick's usually the first guy to say, hey, it's okay, it's gonna be a good day. And he kind of keeps me on an even keel, so I appreciate that and really happy that he's here working with us, so thank you, Nick. Last but certainly not least, Stephen Vaught. What can I say about this guy? Normally I introduce Stephen in our meetings. I'm the guy that talks a lot. They put me in front of people like you to say a lot of words. But Stephen is the guy that really knows everything. He knows everything about all of the systems that we've got. He has nearly 27 years of city experience and maybe the most well-rounded IT professional I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Knows a little bit about everything and has a deep knowledge of most aspects in IT, including server, network, security, you name it. He's the guy, if you can't figure it out, you ask, and he will find the answer. Whether he comes up with it on his own or digs it up somewhere, he's the guy. So he has a lot of shocking amount of knowledge of automotive, by the way. If you ever decide to make the mistake of tearing into your car, like I've done a few times, he's the first guy that'll volunteer to come help you out with it. So in all seriousness, Stephen really is the linchpin of our team. These guys, all of us really look up to him and appreciate the work and the support that he provides. And ultimately, the services that we're providing to our airports are primarily grounded in Stephen's expertise and experience. So thank you so much again for all your support. I know that that's kind of a high level, but I did just want to introduce you to the team and mention a few of those individuals. So with that, I'll kind of just open it up to questions. Anybody have any specific questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, that was great presentation. I really appreciate how specific you were with each individual. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Looking out 3 years, let's say, what are your biggest challenges the team faces?
Yeah, so biggest challenges, well, naturally the landscape of IT, as everybody knows, is changing on the daily. The most important challenge I think that we're going to face is the evolution of AI, and a lot of people throw that around. There's a lot of talk about AI. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about AI and what it is and how it's actually going to change the industry. I think a lot of people are fearing for jobs or things like that. I'm looking at AI and the advent of how it can really change our processes. It's got a lot of opportunity with generative currently, and the next level of AI will be agentive AI, to effectively create digital agents to change our workflows and processes. I'm going to defer to Assistant City Manager Jason Fairbrush in the IT department as Director Burkhart kind of leads us into that next AI revolution. But I think the biggest challenge is going to be harnessing AI and truly leveraging it for the value that it can bring to the organization, to the city, and ultimately our residents, while not getting too worked up in the fluff of just talking about it. Some other challenges specifically for our team, obviously an extremely small team, we support thousands of endpoints, is just going to be maintaining the workload that we have. We have, for example, I know that a big push was the reservation system. We're actively working on that again. I think that's very, very soon coming to fruition. But there have been so many other conflicting and competing priorities. The international service obviously being that top priority. Common use is a subset and supporting system for that initiative. So there are just so many different competing priorities. Being able to identify and prioritize those with the help of leadership and aligning those priorities with their goals, I think is ultimately the biggest challenge.
Is the reservation system for parking, is that, or what?
It is, yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir, the parking reservation system.
Yeah, we need that.
We need that, but we don't need it nearly as much as we need international service. So we've got a system now.
Have you all heard my what feedback? Have you heard my feedback? I don't know.
I passed it on, so
All right, good.
Robert,
No,
that's Bob is the guy who wants that parking reservation. By the way, if you,
We're on it, sir. We're on it.
Yeah, because we can charge more, and people need to be able to return. It needs to be. We need to charge enough so you can return your parking spot, so someone else can use it. Because when you go to the parking that's reserved, sometimes it's empty, and I fear that people have paid the $5 and never showed up, and that loses a lot of money for the
Absolutely.
airport. When they only pay $5 and that space sits empty for 7 days, that's a big loss. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the many considerations we've looked at. We have a lot of controls in place, excuse me, on that new reservation system. There has been some issues with abuse, and we're really going to line all that out, tighten it up, and ultimately provide a better product for our passengers. So we're really excited about it.
So can you go into a little more depth on the parking reservation, how it actually works? If I want to use it, how do I use it?
Sure, yeah. So the parking reservation system is ultimately a product that's going to be directly integrated with our parking access and revenue control system, which we currently have at the airport. So, excuse me, effectively there'll be a website linked from our main website that you'll go to. You'll be able to enter your arrival and return dates very simply, and choose from the list of parking products that this airport provides. Ultimately, just selecting those dates will give you your fee. You can pay that fee with any number of card applications. And then ultimately, you're going to get a QR code via email, and you'll be able to save that to your phone. When you arrive at the airport, you'll just simply scan that QR code to allow you into the parking area. And then on your return, you'll scan that, and it'll let you out. So very, very simple. It's going to be automated and built into the existing system that we have, provide some seamless connectivity, also speed, hopefully, the transactions up at the gates to improve your throughput as well.
When will this be in effect?
Soon.
Okay,
So
good.
we were shooting for the holiday. To be perfectly honest, I don't know that we're going to quite hit that date. I think we may be looking at the turn of the beginning of the year, just for simplicity. I know that our public information group has a marketing campaign, has some ideas in place for that, and we're lining out just the few minor operational concerns that we have to be ready to roll that out. So yeah.
So it's not, you're not reserving a specific space, just a specific parking area.
Correct.
I think that's the problem with the current deal, is you got one space, you know.
Correct.
And so
Correct.
they go unused, and the fee's not high enough, right? So there's no way to return it, but there's also, if it's only $5, you're probably not going to go mess with returning it. So how do you deal with someone that's, their plans change, which happens all the time?
Sure.
How does the system deal with that?
Yeah, so the system is capable of handling not necessarily changes to those plans. For any change that'll happen to a reservation, they'll need to cancel that reservation and effectively create a new one. Okay. That will be possible Yeah.
So will you reserve an area and pay for it for that? So say it's $25 a day, you'll pay the fee for the 7 days. The $25 you'll pay for the cost. So it really is something you want to return. It's enough money to
Correct.
make it.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, and those fees, to be clear, will be paid upon reservation.
Yeah. So you pay. Okay. You see, they did listen to us, Jeff. Sounds good, doesn't it, Mark?
Sounds like a great program. I like it.
We're getting there. We're
I'm
getting there.
excited. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
And I think some of the, as Robert alluded to, some of it is the integration with the current system that manages our parking. We just have to be careful it's going to work together. That's what's provided some of the delays. But we'll want to make, and of course, we'll beta test it before, as we've done with the mobile pay. We tested it for some time to make sure that, we don't want to roll it out and have a problem with it. So I do want to mention just two other things. Well, one is, one of the big issues in front of us is, and I don't understand this, I just heard about it, but it's the network, essentially the backbone that runs most of our systems at the airport is old, and it needs to be updated, but it's kind of like changing the cars on your tires. You're going down the road, you just can't turn the thing off. So that's an effort that will take us a couple years to rebuild that and update it. The other is the federal government, TSA specifically, for good reason, has been putting a lot of emphasis on cybersecurity for airports because of the vulnerabilities. And Robert and his team have done a number of things to come into compliance and to make sure that we have a safe system. The other thing that we've just rolled together in the last couple of months is a technology capital program. We've never had that before, where they've always been integrated in the other construction projects. We just feel we have enough going on to have its own list of projects with its rationale, timing, and resources. So those are some of the things that we've done. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have the Oklahoma City Will Rogers International Airport.
Mr. Chairman, item A is final acceptance, Globe Construction Hangar 3B foundation repair. Item B is passenger facility use agreement with Delta Airlines. Item C is use agreement for all cargo signatory carriers with UPS. Item D is aircraft de-icing storage and use agreement with Delta Airlines. Item E is aircraft de-icing material and use agreement with United Parcel Service. Item F, ratify and approve addendas 1 and 2 with Prestige Building Company for multi-hangar painting. Item G, award construction contract to Diversified for ARB expansion joint replacements, Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center. Item H, agreement with Weather Monitoring Services, DTN. Item I, ground services agreement for vehicle with Excalibur Executive Black Car. Item J, Amendment 1, Change Order 1 with Rudy Construction, Rehabilitate AAR Ramp. Item K, Change Order 1, Construction Contract, Electrical Solutions of Oklahoma, Thomas P. Stafford, Emergency Lighting, Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center. L is a substantial completion, Federal Inspection Services Facility with Downey Construction. Item N is partial substantial completion, terminal restrooms with Globe Construction. Item N is partial substantial completion of common use gates and ticket counter with Globe Construction. Item O, request for proposals for solicitation of professional window cleaning services. Item P, resolution authorizing purchase order with Jackson Mechanical Service for extension of rental of 2 chillers and at FAA Aeronautical Center.
Okay, you've heard the request for approval. Are there any comments? Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. Next up, we have Wiley Post Airport.
Mr. Chairman, item A is an assignment agreement, PWA T Hangar Unit 503. Item B is ratify and approve addendum 1 with Bell Contracting for terminal apron pavement rehab. Item C, amendment number 1, farmlands lease agreement with Roy A. and Janice Nuttall. Item D is amendment 6 with TJ Campbell for drainage improvements. Item E, resolution authorizing the purchase of professional services with Lochner perimeter fence and gates design. Item F, assumption agreement for conveyance of PWAT hangar unit 408.
Okay, you've heard the request for approval. Are there any questions? And entertain a motion and second. And the item passes. Next up, we have Clarence C. Page Airport.
Item A, there is a lease agreement with TBDH Limited Company for lease of a 16-unit hangar facility. Item B is resolution authorizing the purchase of professional services from Garver for box hangars.
Okay. You've heard the request for approval. Any questions? Entertain a motion and second. And the item passes. Next up, we have general.
Item A is amendment number 1 to annual maintenance agreement with Rudy Construction for annual paving repairs. Item B is resolution adopting revised commercial passenger air operational requirements. Item C, resolution waiving guidelines and procedures, professional consultant selection in the trust purchasing policies and procedures for the procurement of construction management and program management services.
Okay. You heard the request for approval. Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. Looks like we have no easements.
No, sir.
And so we will move to requisitions. A resolution ratifying the prior approval of certain requisition payments and a resolution approving requisition payments themselves. Can I entertain a motion and second? And the item passes. Are there any comments from trustees?
Just briefly, and I mentioned this Tuesday at City Council, I am so excited about this nonstop flight to Cancun beginning November 8th. It's our first international nonstop flight. All the trustees are invited to be there that morning at 6:30 a.m. for a ribbon cutting Saturday morning. Matt said he'd go for me. Just kidding. But seriously, I do want to thank American Airlines. They are a great partner, and for them to step in and do this really is significant for Oklahoma City. And I think, if I read it correctly, this is their 8th nonstop flight that they're offering out of Oklahoma City now.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so thank you, American Airlines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outstanding, yes. Are there any comments from staff? Are there any citizens wishing to be heard? Seeing none, we are adjourned.
I have Parents Weekend.